What up, YouTube Alex? Coming back at you with another StarCraft 2 cast. On the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have our blue Protoss player, Mirhra. And on the top right-hand side of the map, we have our red Terran player, Yuzah. This is going to be a gold versus gold level game, although I'm not quite sure about the MMR, so this is not going to be a low league madness episode, but it should be a fun one nonetheless. If you are new to my channel, I do want you to know that my goal is to cast games ranging all the way down from bronze and up to masters. So, if casual games are something you're interested in watching, please consider shooting me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, back to the show. It does look like Yuzah is not bothering to wall at all. He is going to be opening up with a barracks in the main base, but not walling off his natural, or sorry, his the ramp right here to the natural base. So this is a bit of an interesting opener from Yuzah. He is sending a scout, so is Mirhra, but these scouts will just miss each other. Taking a look at Protoss's side of things, it is going to be a gateway in the natural base location. This tells us that we may see a nexus right here. Usually, if you see production in the natural base location of your opponent, you can bet that it is probably going to be a nexus. And taking a look, we actually see this nexus has a probe rallied right here. So if this is not a nexus, I'm quitting casting right now. But it is going to be indeed a nexus. So Yuzah is going to be able to spot this. He is scouting around. He's getting some good sight on his opponent right here. Does see that this is a nexus, sees that there's a gateway in the natural base, so he can feel safe in assuming that he's not going to be cheesed right here. It looks like he does check for the third base, but there's just not enough money for Protoss to throw down a super early third nexus right here, and that would not necessarily be a wise choice. Expanding too greedily as a Protoss player, you just don't see that too often because Protoss typically doesn't need to do that. Mirhra, his scouting probe, is chilling in a weird part of the map, admittedly, getting chased down by this SCV. Will start running that back home. It looks like we see what is going to be two Marines running down the map. And what am I seeing right here? We are seeing a bunker being placed down in the main base of the Protoss player. Does he see this? He does not see this. So this is a hidden bunker in the main base, but as soon as Mirhra starts rallying probes down to his natural expansion right here, he will see this bunker. It is right on the ramp right here. This stalker will be able to take out that SCV that was chasing this probe for the entirety of the game. And now we have what is going to be, I think, two Marines making a beeline to this bunker right here. This stalker will be able to take out at least one of these Marines. This Marine is running for its life. He just ran over his friend's corpse. He's like, no way. I'm sorry, bud. I have to get in here. We have a super scary Protoss machine, and we are not going to deal with this. But unfortunately, this is only one Marine in the bunker. It will not be able to take out any of the probes running to the natural base. We have a couple more Marines right here, but now we have two Stalkers, and two Stalkers versus two Marines. The Stalkers will have no trouble taking care of that, and oh my god. We also have what is going to be a barracks in the main base of our Protoss player. Mirhra does spot this, though. I would love to see him react to this. Maybe he's waiting for that third stalker, but he's not moving right now. He should be able to shut this down, and now he's finally moving in. There's only one Marine in this bunker, so these stalkers will be able to take this out and possibly even snipe this SCV. This SCV decides to quit building this barracks to try and repair this bunker, but fails. The one Marine dying, the SCV dying, and the bunker does get canceled. But this is a relatively big push of Marines. Able to snipe one of the stalkers. A second stalker going down as well. But these Marines are all dying. We have a reinforcement of two more Marines, but I think they're just a little bit too late. And now Mirhra able to shut this down. He does have what is going to be two Immortals queued up from this robotics facility right here. Warp gate is finished, but there are two Stalkers queued up in this gateway right here. I would cancel one of them at least. Once this first Stalker finishes, that would increase the macro potential right here. But Mirhra doing a great job at holding that push, losing, I think, 0 workers this entire game. So Mirhra did not lose a single probe despite having a very invasive cheese right here. And I think this is going to put Yuzah just a little bit behind. Taking a look, he's just now expanding, and taking a look also at the worker supply. It is 40 workers to 23, heavily in favor of our blue Protoss players. So Yuzah finding himself behind in this game, and the issue with cheesing that aggressively is if it does not straight up win you the game, it could cost you the game, because if you don't put your opponent behind, at the very least, if you don't do enough damage, you're going to find yourself way behind in macro in the later game right here. And this is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing what is going to be virtually double in worker supply, a double worker supply lead in Mirhra's favor right here. So that push right there, unfortunately for Yuzah, just not doing what it needed to do, but he is staying in this game. He's like, man, I'm still in this. Nothing's happened on my side of the map just yet. I'm going to try and keep myself in this game right here. Mirhra is supply blocked. How did Mirhra get supply blocked? There must have been a proxy pylon that I missed, but he's not supply blocked anymore. And now we have what is going to be a relatively strong position here for Yuzah. This is going to be hard for the Protoss player to break, just because this is going to be a full bunker backed up by a siege tank. So even if Mirhra is strongly ahead in army supply, he may be susceptible to taking damage here from the siege tank. But also taking a look at the upgrades right here, it is going to be charge zealots. So charge zealots will do a good job at closing the distance to siege tanks, and this is also going to be a Templar Archive. So it looks like Mirhra may be either going for Storm and Charge Zealots or Charge Zealot Archon, which I'm a fan of Charge Zealot Archon, and looking at this is a lot of Zealots. So I expect that we are going to see Archons in the future of this game. We also see what is going to be a Warp Prism. So either Mirhra is going to try and do some harassment here, or he's going to try and go for a game-winning push right now. This is his whole army. He is going all in right now. It looks like this Warp Prism is being left behind, though. No, Mirhra pausing just briefly to pick up this Warp Prism. He is going for the push, and I think this may actually win him the game. Taking a look at the army supply. It is 66 army supply to 24 army supply. Yuzah is catching up in the worker count, but it's at the cost of his macro. He is so far behind because of getting that late natural expansion here and failing in that cheese. So this is going to be a very hard push for Yuzah to hold, and we see what is going to be a warp-in of 5 Archons right here. And I wonder if Mirhra is going to try and make this a double-pronged attack by sending this Warp Prism into the main base. We'll see here soon enough, but this is going to be a very big push by our blue Protoss player. The siege tanks are firing. We have 3 siege tanks here. They may be able to do a decent amount of damage, but these zealots just chewed through that bunker. And taking a look, this is exactly what I was saying. They closed the distance right here. And we see what is going to be a Warp Prism, but it got taken out by that missile turret. But I don't think it even matters, because now we have the zealots holding the ramp right here, taking out so many SCVs right there. We have a few other SCVs right here that are going to try and do something about this, but even SCVs on attack right here, not backed by any army units. This is going to be tragic for Yuzah. There is one tank right here trying to hold the line, trying to protect the main base, but it's not enough. Yuzah throwing out that GG, giving Mirhra our win. So crazy game. That cheese, unfortunately, not doing enough damage for Yuzah in the beginning there, and then just putting him so far behind, he was not able to keep up in the macro of his opponent right there. And as we saw, those charge zealots close the line to those tanks so fast, able to mitigate a lot of that earlier damage and able to take out those tanks and break that line for the Terran player. So wild game indeed. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.